So basically, we have to find the longest consecutive sequence of this particular number. How to find the longest consecutive sequence? Simple, you can just draw a number line if you can visualize. And if you sort this, right, you can take this as 2, 3, and 4. Sort this numbers 100 and 200. Basically, if you sort this num array, it becomes as 1, 2, 3, 400 and 200. Same thing I have written on this number line. Just I'm trying to help you by visualization as a layman's how we can find the sequences. How many sequences are there? First we find that, and then we'll find how which is the longest sequence. So first thing first, how we'll find that there are how many sequences? By just visualizing, you will see there are three sequences. But how? So what we are checking? We are checking, is there any number before one? There is no number before one. So this becomes a first sequence. Is there any number before 100? I mean, is there any 99 number? No, there is no. So this becomes a second sequence. Is there any number before 200? That is 199? No. So it becomes a third sequence. So there are total three sequences. And then you have to check, like, is there any number be ahead of one? Yes, it is there. Length is increasing. Is there any ahead number of 2? Yes, it is there. Length is increasing. Is there any ahead number of 3? Yes, it is there. 4. It's increasing. So the length of sequence, this one becomes 4. And is there any ahead number of 100? No. 200? No. So that's the reason the longest sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can give the answer. We don't have to find how many sequences. We have to find the longest sequence. That is what I just showed you. But this I showed you with the by sorting and just for your visualization. But we cannot use sorting because we have to find it in O of n time. So how to do this? So we have to use something called as a set, and we iterate this nums array and add all the numbers into the set. So the set will have this numbers 100, 4, 200, 1, 3, 2. Now iterate this set. Okay, you just have to iterate. Now check if set dot contains 100 minus 1. Is there any 100 minus 1? No. Set dot contains 100 minus 1. 100 minus 1. No, it does not contains any number. So sequence becomes 1, right? There is one sequence. We found it. Is there set dot contains 100 plus 1? No. So the length is still 0. So the length is just 1 because there is only one number. Then go to 4. You see, is there any, if the set dot contains 4 minus 1? Yes, it contains 4 minus 1. So there is no sequence over here. Come to 200. Is the set contains 199? That is, set contains 200 minus 1. No. So we find another sequence, that is which is starting from 200. Set dot contains plus 1. 200 plus 1. No. So it has only length of 1. Come to 1. Then just see, set dot contains 1 minus 1. No, it doesn't have it. So there is another sequence which we found. Let's check, set dot contains plus 1. Yes, 2 is there, increased by 1. Set dot contains plus more than 2, 2 plus 1. Yes, it is there. Then 3 plus 1. Yes, it is there. And the length becomes 4. That's how we are coming to the conclusion. We don't have to do any sorting. We just use the set. So the space wise, we are using hash set. So it is O of n. And we are just iterating that once, right? So the entire time complexity is O of n. It shows it as a medium, but it's not so medium. It's a easiest sum. Like, you just have to visualize first a number line, and then try to think which data structure you can fit in to form this easy solution. Let's code it. The coding wise also it is not so hard. So like int longest consecutive sequence, int nums. I'm going to create a hash set. just have to use this import file because somehow my Eclipse is not working with that imports. Okay, now I have to add the numbers into the set. So iterate the nums array and set dot add n, right? And afterwards what we have to do is we have to iterate the set. Why we have to iterate? To check whether the set contains that number minus 1. If set does not contains num minus 1, does not, so I'll just put here the sign. If set does not contain num minus 1, then int uh, current sequence equal to 1, right? And let me define in longest sequence as 0. Just there is no longest sequence currently. Next, uh, now if set dot contains num plus 1, then what will happen? Int current num length equal to num. You understood this? This is a length will be equal to that particular number. Okay, and here also we have to add this. This is that particular number. Okay, so now the current length over here, if set contains num plus 1, then it will be plus 1. You're just going to append it. And current sequence, I hope you're getting it. If there is num minus 1 is not there, then sequence it starts. But there is one number, right? So we are putting that as the length. Then current sequence over here will be plus 1. We are just increasing the current sequence. The length of current sequence will also increase it. The length will start increasing, right? Then we have to say max longest sequence, right? Long sequence equal to mat.max current sequence comma long sequence. Okay. And then we'll return the longest sequence. Somehow this is Eclipse is not working. Return long sequence. Yeah, and time complexity is O of n and space complexity is also O of n. Thank you.